Welcome to Scatter Travel TV. I'm your host, Debbie Gerber. I want to take you on a trip today to Alaska. At the beginning, we flew into Anchorage, Alaska to start our land package. I would really suggest doing a land package. We loved it. The animals are just so cool, and you get to see the scenery. The scenery is beautiful, the mountains and the greenery and the trees. It is really what Alaska is. So start with the land package. That's what we did. We flew into Anchorage, and from there, the next day, our tour company had arranged for us to take the train up to Denali Park. Another wonderful thing to do that is so much fun is taking the train.
If you're coming to Anchorage, Alaska, chances are one of the places you might end up is at the railroad station. The railway station is just a long tan building. It's very unassuming, but when you come, there'll be two places to check in. First, you'll check your baggage in. There's a place where you check your baggage because it will not be with you on the train. Only small carry-on can you take on the train. So you'll check your bags in there and then go into the middle double doors and through and get your tickets. Even if your tour company that you bought it through has sent you some kind of a ticket, you still have to exchange that and show your ID to get your actual ticket to get onto the train. On the train, there are restrooms on the train. There's a full service dining car on the train, as well as a pick up and go menu. If you are into conserving money or saving money for this trip, you can always bring some food with you to eat on the train. And just take something so that you're not hungry. It is a long train ride today. We're riding up to Denali Park. We are leaving at 8:15 in the morning and arriving at 3:45 in the afternoon. The train will make one stop. It is near a town, but you don't go into the town. It's just kind of a smoke break or a break to get up and walk around. There is a dome car as well. We are in standard class. So in standard class, you are assigned seats. They're 2 by 2. So that you can see out and photograph and see the sights. But there's a dome car for viewing as well that's up higher, and it's by on your honor. You can go up for 15 minutes, take some pictures, look out, and then go back to your seat. So that's an option.
We arrived in Anchorage and we stayed at a hotel that was really near this railroad station. In fact, you could walk. It was only a few blocks right to the railway station. This is the Alaskan Railroad station. As you can see, it's a long kind of a white or tan building. It's easy to get to. There's several hotels near it. Check that out. We had a shuttle bus that would take us right to it as well. Also, as you come in, the first place if you have luggage is they'll drop you here at the end of the building where they will tag your luggage, give you the receipts for your luggage, and then they will put your luggage in crates and put them on the train so that you aren't dealing with them on the train. You will actually just take your carry-ons and everything else will be taken care of for you.
As they say, all aboard inside the station, you'll go out, and each of the trains is marked with a flag depicting which of the train cars are by number. You'll have a number and a seat number for the train. So all aboard.
As you can see here, our assigned car was car D, so we went to the D flag. Even though the train moves quite fast and the next videos are going to move quite fast, I want to show you, so I'm going to put some pictures in between the videos so that you can see some of the scenery that you'll see from the train. It's a fabulous way to do it. It's fast. You get to see a lot. These here are the mud flats. The mud flats, they say, are quite dangerous though because they harden and people walk on them, and then the tide will come in and the water will seep up from underneath and trap them in like quicksand. So you need to know where you're going in order to be safe. The mountain ranges here are gorgeous. There are river after river that follow. The train follows the rivers. There's so many things to do. Make sure that you go in the make sure that you take a chance, that you take your turn, and that you go up into the dome car because you can really see from there. You can buy a ticket that would be a dome car ticket so that you have a seat up there the entire time. So either way, it is a different view from both places though. It's different from down on the level than it is up in the dome car, so it's fun to see it both ways. The train has comfortable seats as well as really large picture windows, so you have plenty of room to see without obstruction. The scenery will constantly change between these wonderful forests and it goes through actual rainforest areas, and then you'll have the mountains in the background, and then you'll have the rivers and the lakes, and so you get a taste and a feel for Alaska, but you have to be on the watch out for wildlife. That's why it's a really good idea to bring your binoculars with you. You can get small ones that are high enough powered that you can do and see plenty with them, and yet be able to carry them right with you, because even though you're riding the train, it may be further away than you think, and you need those binoculars to pull it in. All of a sudden the conductor would say, look, there's a moose off to your left, and it would be way out there, but if you had your binoculars you could see it. There's a space between the cars so that you can walk out one door, cross over into the next car, open the next door, and go through. Well, right in the area where you cross, there is also railings there which you can go and lean out over the side of the train and look forward or backward out of the train. That was really exciting. The wind was blowing really hard, and it was just, it would blow and blow, and it was like sticking your head out of a car going 60 miles an hour. But it was really kind of a cool feeling to do that off of a train. I was also introduced to a new kind of photography on this trip. I was introduced to a photography called reflective photography. That's where if the light is right, and it was on this train, if you lean out over the side, you can see the reflection of what's going by on the side of the train right on the train surface. And so I would lean out and I would take these videos and these pictures of the scenery flashing by, but being reflected onto the train. That was just really fun. So I had a lot of fun taking pictures that showed what was going on this outside of the train, just off the side of the train, with reflective photography. So that was something new to learn. If you're on a train, give it a try, or if you're anywhere where you can do that, watch for that. It's a neat little photography trick to try. On our train, we had Conductor Steve. I thought Conductor Steve was one of the best I have ever seen. He cared about everybody. He made announcements, but he cared enough to have made a private collection of all kinds of things, everything from animal skulls to skins to pictures from his trips, so that you could see all the different things that there were that you could see along the railroad. And he opened a little mini museum in one of the cars. One of the services that he did that was just fantastic is there are people who cannot get a newspaper because they just live too far out to have it delivered. So Conductor Steve delivers that along the railroad track. He tells everyone that he's going to do it, and then he stands out in that space between the two cars that I talked about, and he counts it down, and then he throws it. And he hits the mark almost every time and delivers for free newspapers for people who can't get them. He brings some with him, but he also asks for anyone that has bought a newspaper and read it to bring it to him so that he can deliver them to people who don't have them. What a great service that this man does with the Alaskan Railroad. This is Conductor Steve. He's delivering a newspaper. It's a service he does to people who can't get newspapers where they're at easily.
All right, here we go.
Here he goes.
Right on the trail.
All right. There is something very romantic about eating on the train with the person that you love. You can sit and watch beautiful scenery and have wonderful food. As you can see here, my husband and I do all our own filming. We do all of the pictures ourselves that you see, and so sometimes it's a stretch. Can you see that? They had like high quality restaurant food there. They also had some things I'd never tried before. We had salmon chowder, and it was wonderful. I had to try it because after all, we were in Alaska and it was salmon. And I also had a chopped Cobb salad, which is my very favorite, and it lived up to my expectations. So eating on a train can be a really fun experience. Don't miss that. Even if you just go and order something small, make sure you eat on the train and have that experience. One of the fun things riding a train actually was to watch and see other trains pass us and see them coming, and that was really neat. If you were up in the dome car, you could watch as the train went around the tracks. So you could actually watch our train as it went around and followed the tracks. So being up in the dome car does give you a really different view. Then we made a stop in the middle of a little city called Wasilla. Some of you will recognize that because it is the home of Sarah Palin. We didn't pick her up, but we did pick up 5 people at this stop. It had to be really short. We couldn't get off the train because if the train stops in Wasilla, it blocks the road and no cars can get through. And so if you're going to go, if the train stops, it blocks traffic, so nobody could get out there. But it was kind of fun just to see the town that you've heard so much about on the news and in the media. We passed a couple of rivers that were really interesting. The first one was the Knicht rivers. The Knicht River is a glacier-fed river. The glacier, when it's glacier-fed, the water is a gray, and it's gray because as the glacier melts, you have the silt that mixes in with that water that's been trapped during its formation, and so the water runs gray. And so some of those rivers have been very short time since they've been melted. The other river that we passed was kind of scary because it was so high. It's the highest point that the Alaska Railroad goes on. It's called the Talkeetna River, and it's like 296 feet above the river. And so you're going across this, it's called the Hurricane Gulch Trestle, and it's like you're on the train way above and you look way down, and it's even hard to tell from these pictures and from these videos how far you really are up in the air. So that's kind of the scary part of the railroad ride, but very fascinating as well. This is the end of our train ride from Anchorage up to Denali Park on the Alaskan Railroad. It is beautiful scenery. It's narrated all the way, so you have a guide on there that narrates it and tells you what's going on and what there is to see. It is comfortable. It is the quickest way to go from there to Denali and see everything. I would encourage you, hop aboard the train. Well, do it legal. Buy a ticket. Hop aboard a train. Take the train to Denali Park. It's an interesting ride, very beautiful. Take a train ride. It's also romantic. It is a fun thing to do as a couple, to sit together, to watch the scenery and experience something new, and for most of us very unique, to see the wilderness the way it is. I hope we can keep the wilderness that we have, that we don't go and plow down all the fields. And I remember there was a song about paving over all the wilderness. Let's not do that. Let's keep our wilderness beautiful no matter what it takes, because it is fantastic. But it is a new and unique experience for most of us to go on the railroad or go through Alaska. So have some fun. Take the railroad. Watch our next videos as we go and we river raft and we go up through Denali Park and see all of that, and then take a cruise. Those are our upcoming shows on Alaska. Come and join us at www.scattertravel.tv and watch more of our shows, get more of our tips, see destination information, travel safety tips. There's a lot there for you to enjoy and to make your trips more fun, more interesting, and a lot more relaxed and enjoyable. Thanks for joining me today.